Hey, what's up, guys? It's Vic the Ninja Closer. I'm here with Thomas Kern, an amazing member of JD Daley's team. And he's also a great person to talk to. We're going to talk today about L2E, Learn to Earn, and how that's changing the game in sales. Hey, Thomas, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Of course. So, Thomas, tell me a little bit about yourself first.
I am an old school martial artist, and that's kind of where I got my teaching from. I'm a single dad. My daughter just turned 20, just moved out. So, yeah, I'm kind of going through one of those big life transitions right now. But anyway, I got into closing. I got into sales because I wanted to kind of fill that hole. I mean, the house is exceptionally quiet. It's just me, and it's just time to reinvent myself. So that's why I kind of got back into sales and found my way to high ticket closing. Yeah.
Awesome. It's interesting you say that. You're at a point where you're an empty nester now and you're trying to reinvent yourself. You're trying to, transition into something beyond what you've been.
Right.
That's awesome. And I think that's what's really great about LTE is that it's for everyone. It's
Oh,
not
definitely.
it's not just for, the young sales-minded person. It's for everyone and anyone. And I think you're proof of that.
Yeah, no, I would very much agree with it. The thing's really exciting about L2E is it's all based on fundamentals, which I really resonate with. Having teaching martial arts, I'm the teacher's like, if I can mask the fact that you have to do this kick 1,000 times, we'll do that. But you're still going to do the kick 1,000 times because you need the practice, you need the foundation, you need that balance, right? And so L2E it's all about that. It's all about the foundation of the business, how it actually works, not the fluff and the hype and the hyperbole and the big, the big sexy numbers and the Bentleys and everything else. It's actually like this is actually how the industry works. It's the best place to start.
Right. We talked to JD earlier, not too long ago, and he was telling us about the why he built it and the vision he had for just creating a safe informational sales space for people who are starting out that wasn't all like the hype and hyperbole, like you said. Can you talk to us, maybe not by not giving it all away, but can you talk to us a little bit about how that actually works and why it's so great in that space?
Do you mean why it works so well because it's so kind of streamlined and
Yeah.
for the industry? Well, I think it's not like other people are not telling the truth, and I want to preface that as saying that I'm not here to sling mud or give my opinion one way or the other. What I am here to say is I like when somebody tells me, do this, follow that, get results. I'm a big fan of following maps. I don't have a ton of time. Up until now, I haven't had any time whatsoever because I was single dad and stuff all the time, So, so when I first started with this, my daughter had not yet moved out yet, so I still had very limited time. And the thing that I really liked about it was it didn't matter if I only had an hour, if I only had 20 minutes. It was very streamlined and to the point, and you could pick it up. It was easy to understand. It was broken down, so even I could think out loud to my daughter, and she goes, "Well, that makes sense. I mean, this is a person that has no interest in sales whatsoever and has never seen the workbook, and she still gets it." You know what I mean? So it's just easy to follow, and it makes sense. And there's no smoke and mirrors. There's no bait and switch type of approach to it. And there seems like the industry is kind of prolific with stuff like that, but this isn't like that. It's literally do A, go to B, go to C, go to D. E is your result.
Yeah. And I love that it's packaged in a small, affordable way that makes it accessible to everyone and anyone. But anyone can create a $97 program and tell you it's great, right? I think that one of the best parts about L2E is the group and the community that comes with it. And can you talk a little bit about that community and your role in that community?
Yeah, so I'm the liaison in that community. That's my official title. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, but what I really do is I try to get out and engage the community and get the community to engage each other, so that we're all learning together. But then also act as a focal point. So if somebody has a question or something, I'm the person they throw a DM at, or I tell people either you throw me a DM or hit me with a stick or something, just get my attention so I can get you some help. And so that's kind of what I do. I guess, an advisor, for lack of a better way of putting it. But that's really what I'm trying to do is to engage people, get them engaged, find out where they're successful, celebrate the successes, find out where they're stuck, find out why they're stuck, and how we can kind of get them moving again. Sometimes that's as easy as just having a quick Zoom call. Sometimes it's as easy as having a couple of DM messages back and forth. Sometimes it's like, hey, have you gotten on this last call last time? Let me direct you over to this guide, or maybe you should talk to somebody else on the team. And just getting them connected with the people that they need, that those resources that help kind of provide the solution to the problem where they're at right at that moment, so they can keep moving. Progress is the name of the game.
Right.
Have to keep moving.
And I love that, because it's not just take my course, watch it, and you're successful. It's follow the steps that are given with the course, but also here's people like Thomas who's there to kind of help guide you if you get stuck, or if you get lost, or if you have a question. It's not just to throw you to the wind and see what happens. It's a, hey, all right, we've got this. This is the steps to follow. Here's someone that's kind of helping you march along to make sure that you follow those steps appropriately. I love that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, because the understanding is, because it's a beginning course. So the understanding is people who are taking this probably don't have any experience whatsoever, or if they do, they have sales experience kind of in the real world, which is great, but that doesn't always 100% translate into high ticket online sales. So if they're in that basic course, the assumption that I have is they haven't done it before, and you need somebody to ask questions. When you're exposed to something brand new, you're not going to just get it just like that, no matter how awesome the course is. Yeah. It's new, and having too much information at one time can kind of bog you down a little bit. So it's helpful having a person there to lean on,
If I was a brand new person getting into high ticket sales, what would you say about L2E that would make me want, to be a part of it? What would be your recommendation?
That is a great question. If I could reframe it, sure. Maybe if I could go back in time and talk to me before I got started on my journey. And I've been in a couple of different programs, including one very high-end coaching program. If I could go back in time and to stop myself, I would tell myself to start over here. I would tell myself to start with L2E first. And then you can grow from however you want, but at least your foundations are squared away, and they're real. Let's put it that way. There's no fluff, there's no hyperbole or anything like that. It's like, this is how it works. Then if you want to go off and do another coaching program, you can. But this is where you want to get your basics and your fundamentals down. So, so I guess, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It does perfectly, actually. And I know it's a fairly new program, but can you speak to some of the success that you've already seen in the program with some of the students?
Yeah, we've seen well, there's one student that I know specifically, and she came in, and I don't think she was in a week, and was just literally she just epitomized that example of just taking it, running with it, and just on fire. And I believe she has 2-3 offers on the table now. She's since moved on to get into some of the other programs, but she's still part of L2E, and even in L2E, she is probably the biggest, most vocal person we have in L2E about these are my wins. This is how you can do it. I mean, she's literally coming back in, taking her experience and coming back into the group and offering all of that free value. Yeah, awesome. So there's and then there's 2 or 3 other people that are actually kind of doing the same thing. Maybe not so on fire as she is. She is a rocket, but there are 2 or 3 other people that stuck out in my head that are doing the same thing. And the program is designed to allow you to do that. Yeah. It's really designed to allow you to run as fast as you want to go.
Right. That it's so cool to kind of see it take off and see people actually getting results from it. Mm-hmm. And listening to you talk to, someone who's never had experience, or like you said, your former self, and saying, start here, start my foundations, and get them real and actually tangible, that I can build and build and build. Where do you hope to see L2E in the next couple months?
The next couple of months, I would like it to be the premier starting program. There's a lot of different programs out there, but I would like L2E when people are thinking about where to go, I would like ours to be right at the top. because that's where it deserves to be. It should be at the top. It should be the number one on everybody's list to at least go and look at.
Yeah.
To each their own, but I mean, you should at least go and have that exposure to be able to go and look at it. And I think it's a great standalone product. It really is. And I think once we kind of get that recognition and kind of build ourselves up in the market a bit more, people are going to be stopping by more and more and more instead of being attracted off to the shiny things. Shiny things look great and everything, but it's like I told one person one time, you can spend 16 weeks to learn how to talk on the telephone, but if you don't know anything about the industry, you're not going to be able to get to that interview to get on the telephone in the first place. You have to have the fundamentals. You got to know how the business works.
100%. So if let's assume everybody watching is buying L2E right now, and they're coming in and they're saying, today's day one, I'm going to start. What is that one nugget of wisdom we could leave them with that'll help them be successful in this program?
Progress is something that is usually measured in hindsight. And what I mean by that is if you only have 20 minutes, use 20 minutes. If you have an hour, use an hour. But don't ever look at your 20 minutes and say, well, I'm not going to get anything done in 20 minutes. Use it. Be focused on it. Be consistent on it. Do a little bit every day, and you will be successful. Just follow the workbook, but you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent. That's the biggest thing. Action builds momentum. Momentum creates action.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Thomas, for your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate you getting on and talking about L2E. I hope to, talk to you again in the future, and we can talk a little bit more, maybe down the road, and see where L2E is taken off and how far it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it. Bye.